This is Kathy Chase. They plan tricking me into being famous. The goal was cult orientated and cult facts, cult history. I do remember the cult mass suicide out in San Francisco area. I remember watching that on the news where they had put veils over their face and then they took something and they all killed themselves. Well, the goal was to expose me and then kill me, and then other people would follow suit to have mass suicide. That was their goal. Mass suicide, you'll find it in the music, you'll find it in the movies. You'll definitely find it in the music, and music that dates back 20 years ago. As I said, they used trickery to make me famous because I didn't know, and they've abused me in order to make me famous, more and more famous all the time, to thus do what they had planned, using the history of cults. You'll probably find more than what I found on Wikipedia, but I do remember the cult sacrifice out there in California. That was, I don't know, what, 10, 15 years ago or something. I think they all wore purple or whatever. Then, or rainbow, they had rainbow colors, and then you see all the change stuff around town with rainbows. And then I talked about The Serpent and the Rainbow, the movie I remember very well growing up, or I watched it in my teens. Movies about cults. Then, as far as the other cult thing with the David Koresh thing, where they used music to try to sound them out, and they've used the RFID with people, neighbors, in which have been sending me siren signals and so forth to, I don't know what the point of it is when I only hear it when I'm in certain locations and I'm not under siege by government. These people are really sick, and the sirens I had talked about before, well, that reminds me of them using music to try to blare out the Waco Branch Davidians. The Branch Davidians. Anyways, these people are really sick with their little cult thing. There's plenty of evidence that leads this to true. All you have to do is look for it in the music. They plan on exploiting me in my prime with, I guess, has to do with the cult, the Catholic Church or something, and the spiral staircase, the Vatican, then Duncan Aviation's where all the famous people fly in, and the private jets and things like that. It's a private airport. My mom's ex-husband, Larry Maxwell, which is related to the Bush family, Maxwell, he works out there. He used to work out there. He worked out there, I should say. He moved or whatever. I don't know. My mom says he doesn't live here anymore, but I thought I saw him a few months back. Anyways, that's another Bush name. You got the Munsters, you got the Maxwells. You've got George Walker Bush, and you got Laura Welch Bush. Okay, you got Welch's grape juice, and you got Walker. You got walkie-talkies. I have to say, by evidence, that it points to the Bush family are responsible for what's in my foot. And so that's what I would have to say by evidences with middle names. And, as I said, they wanted to use the first 3 letters of the Vatican to try to fry me like I was an animal or whatever. And then they exploited me, not really intending to make me famous, because Texas's motto is the Lonestar state. They wanted to use the moon thing in my foot and things like that to make me famous without making me famous, to exploit me just enough to cause me problems and abuse me, because I don't know what's wrong with these people. All they know how to do is hurt people and plan to hurt people. That's all they know how to do. Obviously, they knew what I was going to uncover. That's probably why they had never done anything, because they knew what I was going to uncover, and so forth. But they know they can't kill me because there's too much evidence against them. As I said, the cult evidence is history of cults. I'm sure there's a lot more information further than what I found on Wikipedia. I'm sure of, as I said, they've used one of the RFIDs they put in my body to use radio trans signals, radio equipment to send me signals of always hearing sirens. Sometimes I hear tornado sirens, and then there's been times when I lived in the old address when I thought I heard washing machines, like running. But tornado sirens, I get the tornado sirens from the Wizard of Oz, and that sort of thing. I understand where that's coming from, and the people, I think the home that it's coming from are people in relation to the Cisco family, because they're employees there. Cisco, as I said, Vern Jensen worked for, and Kim had stated she had worked for. There is a Kim Industries in Center Park area. There's next to Lamar billboards. Lamar billboards, and then Lamar from Reading Rainbow is a black African American. So, as I said, The Serpent and the Rainbow, a cult movie, and then the cult instances in the past. The fact that we have Mueller Planetarium here. We have Mueller Planetarium here, and then we have Hyde Observatory out at Holmes Lake. And then you got Sherlock Holmes and Watson Elementary, My Dear Watson, you know, and then Zeman Elementary School, where I talked about all the teachers, Miss Stamper and Mrs. Weesey, and people that, Mrs. Green and Mrs. Walker, and so on and so forth, teachers that taught or did still teach at Zeman Elementary. Nancy Chase worked in the media center. The Holmes thing, then Zeman Elementary. Also Mueller Planetarium. When me and Rob first started dating, we went and saw laser light shows there at Mueller Planetarium. I believe one of them might have been a Pink Floyd one. It might have been a Pink Floyd laser light show. That was very popular back when we were dating in the early 1990 time frame. I don't know if people still go look at laser light shows at Mueller Planetarium. The head of the FBI is Robert Mueller, so I don't know. Fox Mulder, and then Agent Scully. And there's the Mulder Veterinarian Clinic on 17th and Van Dorn, and with the One More Time shopping plaza. Then there is a place called Deja Vu, which is a barber area, Deja Vu, and then there's a fire station on the other side. And then 17th Street, of course, goes to the hospital there, which was Lincoln General, but now it's Bryant East. As I said, these people had plans, it's in the music, to exploit me, and then the goal was mass suicide. And you will find music about it. I'm not going to mention artists or anything like that, but you'll find a lot of information about that. They had plans to use trickery into making me famous by abuse, by methods of abuse, and trickery. They wanted to have like a cult. They wanted to use the Lincoln Lancaster courtroom as a stage for an altar for cult sacrifice. And Lincoln Lancaster County Courthouse, you know, the county numbers, and then pound junior high, the fence symbol, the tic-tac-toe symbol is pound symbol, and so forth. As I said, that was their plans. That was their plans. I don't have to go into any more information than what's already out there on the web for people to find and look for themselves. But the plan was to initialize my death illegally, of course, as a cult sacrifice or a cult offering based upon whatever these people's religious ideals are about mass murder via mass suicide or whatever. So the information's out there for the public to find, but this is true. I don't hurt people. I don't kill people. The only type of altars there are is a wedding altar, which they wanted to use as a stage to kill me. Some sort of a proposal, like a wedding proposal, to try to stage killing me. Well, there's only two kinds of altars that I can think of, other than altar recycling, is a cult offering, or a wedding altar. Altars, of course, or offerings, of course, is when you pass the thing around and the usher brings the offering plate around where you put your money in for the churches and such. As I said, these people are extremely, extremely mentally ill. I don't kill people. They planned on making me, giving me this fame without making me famous because of state mottos. As I said, Texas, the Lonestar state. They wanted to make me famous because of the moon thing and the honeymooners, you know, and then the Happy Days things and all the certain shows that related to Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and then some other ideals and music, which of course would have had to have been older people that had to have made that plan, because probably, you know, most people were too young, might have been too young to even know the music, but I don't know for sure. As I said, it was Dean Martin. That's Amore, that song. And a dean is also another name for principal. And as I said, Mr. Webb that was the principal of Zeman Elementary School when I went to Zeman. There was also a Mr. Knob, K-N-A-U-B. I believe he was at Pound. My memory is kind of a little, I'm having a hard time remember that one, but also our old neighbor, Sarah McInerney, which I think is how the Macintosh thing and the Apple IIc and all that, the lemonade stand came into the situation here, but she was the principal for Pound Junior High for a long while. I don't know where she's at right now or anything like that, but she was our neighbor, Sarah McInerney, for Pound Junior High, which is now called Pound Middle School. See, all the junior highs are now called middle school here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they switched the name in recent years, and it used to be kindergarten through 6th, 7th through 9th, and 10th through 12th when I went to school, and junior high is what they called them. Now it is 1 through 5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12. There's 12 grades, of course. There's 12 eggs in a carton, and then all the other things that there's 12 Federal Reserves, and so forth. But as I said, these people had plans to make me some sort of cult sacrifice with this rainbow stuff, and then they wanted there to be mass suicide or something was their plan, because they had no plans of making me famous, and they never had no plans of giving me money, because my life has generated so much wealth it's incomprehensible. I still bring in money every single second of the day for them because the story alone makes the same people money, and which has destroyed my life. And I mean, people are always writing about it and things like that. So there's always money coming in one direction or another. So I don't know. The reason why they never helped me, I guess, when people stirred up all this mess to cause problems, I guess, they knew they couldn't come forward because they knew they were part of it, and they knew about it, and they were part of the intentions of having bad intentions and malicious intentions upon me, because they would have helped me, you see, because I didn't do anything wrong. As I said, I didn't know about things. They use trickery because they plan things that way, to make me famous, and use abuse. Abuse is not legal. Sacrificial killings of women and children is not legal. And the rainbow with the change logos are all over Lincoln, Lancaster County, and so they knew they were in trouble as far as what people knew about what they had planned. And they can't kill me. They know they can't kill me because they know I'm not liable for anything. I'm not liable for, anything at all that's happened in my life. And I'm not liable for my children because people wanted to repeat certain scenarios, which is wrong. They wanted to use Autumn. And now that I've uncovered things with Autumn, they think they want to kill her. And I think, no, you're not killing my babies. You're not killing me. We don't kill people. You can't kill people that don't kill people. That's the law. You can't look for ways to kill people, and I'm not going to be your altar. Meaning they wanted to use the courtroom in Lancaster County via divorce, because Rob and I got married at the courthouse by the Justice of the Peace in April of 1994. April 21st, 1994 was when Rob and I were married by the Justice of the Peace there at the courthouse. 5 days before Amber was born. We had eloped very quickly on a Friday because I thought that we thought that we should hurry up and get married, which was a mistake, obviously. Marrying into that family, because they're vicious people. They believe in murder over divorce, because I don't know. I have no idea. Divorce does not constitute or institute ever killing people with the vow of until death do you part. Using that vow to try to instigate murder. I'm not into your sacrilegious ideas, using, I guess, what they had thought, this Strategic Air Command, SAC, and sack religion and sack potato races with Russ's Market, I guess, and that sort of thing. Whoever owns Russ's Market, well, Russ was the name also in the Vacation movie, but I don't have to go into all that because people already know the Vacation movies and such, and the movie I Married an Axe Murderer and stuff like that. And they used the Batterman name, the lady I was named after, with pancakes, and then you got beer batter and all this battery as far as abuse. And batteries, AA batteries, and AAA batteries, AAA roadside assistance, AA with Alcoholics Anonymous. They wanted to try to make me out to be this alcoholic because, they knew I would have to cope somehow with the exploitation because I don't drink every day by any means. I drink once or twice a week. I have cut down recently, or I've tried to. I didn't drink hardly at all before all this happened, but then they made me a big exploit, and all they do is abuse me. So, how else do you cope with people who are crazy, you know, and they only know how to create problems. They only know how to hurt people. They only know how to hurt me. That's all they know how to do. They only look to make problems and cause problems, and they have no morals, values, ethics, and they're just evil. They don't care about other people. I don't appreciate being married to somebody for so long and under malicious intentions that he was planning on getting me killed later. I think that's really sick. You know, I'm not a cult sacrifice of the divorce. I don't really know. You know, they exploited me with that, with the intentions of not giving me money because of the whole 16 tons song. And then I know it's true. They had no intentions of giving me profits from my life, meaning royalties, because of the Queen Victoria thing, and on the Robin side of the family, and then the desk, the Oval Office, the Resolute desk, and then, you know, the carpet rides with Resolve carpet cleaner, and the issues that my kids have had with health issues and poison rugs and stuff. No, they had no intent of ever helping me or preventing problems. They had no intent of giving me any of the monies. Their intent was to exploit me because I'm in my prime, to try to force me into being asexual. Asexual people don't have sex, because they were trying to run my personal relationships and thinking that they could have all kinds of rights to everything about my life and try to own me as if I was their personal slave, me and my children, meaning me and my children. Seriously, that's how they see me, as a slave. And I'm not a slave to make them money. And there's music about this. There's actual music about slavery, and money's made off of my life and such. And they had no intentions of ever helping me or giving me monetary royalties because of the name and the family relations and you know, everything I've uncovered. They had no intentions of ever, you know, they wanted to make me famous just enough to cause all kinds of problems. Why? I don't know. I have no idea why. There's so many things that could be done in government to make things so much more efficient and make things so much better for the whole public. That's not my concern, but because I don't work for government, I'm not a government employee, but if I were, I would do things differently, and I don't want to be blamed because you do things the way you choose to do things. So don't blame me for your problems, because I would never do things the same way as you would, obviously. But, you know, as I said, all they've done is look for problems. Look for ways to hurt. Look for ways to hurt. Look for ways to hurt. Why would you look for ways to hurt? That shows you're not mentally sane. You prove to people that you're mentally ill and insane. And then you prove to people that you're don't like to help people. I think it's the greed of money. I don't know, beyond the greed of money. You know, cult. You know, they wanted to make me a cult sacrifice to initialize mass suicide, because they didn't plan on making me famous to make me famous, because they've never brought media around. That was their intentions. They wanted to make me famous enough so that people would know about me, but not famous enough so people couldn't actually see me and my children and see who we were and to know who we were, but just famous enough to cause all kinds of grief in our lives and their lives, and to bully us around mafia style, because mafia linked to Italy and the United States. That's how they plan things. You see, if you look at Truchard Road where we lived, 8955 Truchard Road, it's the Allegrini townhomes. The Allegrini townhomes all have Italian names. They've got Sicily and Rome and all these Italian names, which was directly behind the house. Directly behind the house. That was their intentions. They had planned this. It's in the streets. That's a newer area. Those townhomes were going up at the same time as our house was being built out there. And our house, I think, was the second house on that block of Truchard at the time. We had pictures. I don't know if I put any of those online of the house being built. But my camera's not working right now. It's broke. As I said, there's a lot of things that might have been intentionally broke. My laptop thrown down. People trying to keep me from communicating with the outside. They broke all kinds of my stuff, and they try to mess with my computers, and they've done all kinds of mafia type stuff. They slander me and belittle me and degrade me and say I'm this or I'm that. And I've heard that they've used Photoshop to like do something. I don't know if they've taken my face and put it on things. There should, as I said, there should be nothing of me of having sexual intercourse with anybody online, because I've never ever been on videotape having sex ever. I would never do that, and I would never give permission for somebody to do that. As I say, they're dirty. They're dirty. All they know how to do is play dirty, 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 and sick. And as I said, all they've done is escalate more problems over the past recent years than they've ever stopped to do anything to prevent or do anything else. That's all they know how to do, is make things worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. When you got politicians acting like mafia and bullying women and children around, you know it's a serious situation. And as I said, they've got cult type evidences all over the town of Lincoln, Nebraska. All you have to do is look around. I don't know. Yeah, it's very scary being me, trying to protect my children when you're surrounded by people who have been taught and trained to only hurt people and not help them for personal gain or for monetary gain. Or, you know, at one point I had thought these women did this because they were afraid that I was going to meet rock stars or something, because, you know, or whatever. I don't know what or you know, they just wanted to get me out of the way to be with Rob or whatever, you know. Because, you know, I'd been under hypnosis so long, I didn't even know there were rock stars around. I didn't even know anything about the music or nothing. And then they use music that's not even about my life to abuse me. And as I said, no quarter was written 1 year before I was even born. So they think they can play this death game with me with no prison sentences for trying to get me murdered with a pacemaker for a song that has nothing to do with murder, and a song that was written 1 year before I was born. And that's why I've tried to involve Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, because that's what they've been using locally to try to get me killed. They've used that music in their little game to try to get me killed. So that's why I have tried to get their attention. I'm sure they've paid attention and know about this. You know, Robert Plant, when I went to the Now and Zen tour with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts up at the Omaha Civic Auditorium, I would have been about 15 years old, and 14 or 15, I can't quite remember. I was about ready to turn 15, I think. They had, you know, that was the Now and Zen tour, and Ship of Fools was on that album because, you know, I think he had known what their intentions were to use with the Led Zeppelin music because of the Goodyear blimp and all that other stuff. That's kind of how they went off of. They went off of Pink Floyd music and Led Zeppelin music and or whatever, and which was not even about me, but they followed certain footsteps to make it look like it was about me. But Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd were around years before I was born. Everybody knew back when in high school I was big fans of. I always had Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd stuff. You know, I had Led Zeppelin stuff hanging up in my room, posters and stuff. So, you know, they've abused me with about every factor in my life. All the music that I've liked, movies that I've seen or watched or whatever. They've abused me with those. And as I said, I don't know what's wrong with them and their abilities to have compassion and respect for other people's lives. I'll never understand. And I think there's a lot of people that are with me when I say, you know, I'm terrified of presidents. They're obviously got some issues because they seem to want to make things worse and worse and worse. When I've been saying all along, here I am, you can talk to me. You can't talk to anybody else because they can't. I told them they can't talk to my mother, they can't talk to my father, they can't talk to my sisters, they can't talk to high school people about me that want me dead. And they chose not to. You can't talk about me with these people. I give you permission to not talk about me with the media, to not talk about me with people I went to high school with. I do not give you permission to talk about me with the Lincoln Journal-Star. I don't give you permission to talk about me with the media. I don't give you permission to talk about me at all with anybody. So therefore, you are stuck. You can only talk to me. I have given you, you know, I have told you not to talk about me. Do not talk about me with the media. Do not talk about me with the public at all. You have no rights to do that. That's illegal. You can't generate slander and defamation of character and reckless, you know, your recklessness behavior with intentions to cause harm to me and my children. Reckless, so, you know, you just keep going with trying to make things worse, and I guess the reason why they never wanted to talk to me because they knew what was, you know, what I was going to uncover, and why they've tried to be in a hurry to try to get me killed because they knew what I was going to uncover. They knew what I was going to find. And all I can say is you need to stop what you're doing because everybody's seen enough. It's gross what's been uncovered. You want to put me in a corner, like your triangle, 90-degree corner triangle and flags with labeling me as military or police because, you know, you're white-collar criminals, or, you know, you can't, I've already uncovered everything pretty much. You know, I'm pretty sure that this is pretty much as bad as it can get. So I don't know what the government says as far as the FBI and the CIA goes. You know, my life is extremely scary. I shouldn't have to live this way, and neither should my children. This is absurd. So I don't know what they're thinking as far as, you know, what's going on with the presidents and their ideas is what they're thinking, that they can just walk up to me, beat me up, and use trickery to try to get me killed as some sort of cult sacrifice. I don't think that's the way things are going to happen. Too many people know that I'm just a mom trying to protect her 3 children, And I'm not a bad person. I don't have a bad soul. And I'm not anything that you claim. I don't know. All I can say is that some people are extremely mentally ill. They know how I feel about government as a whole and things that they need to improve on. That's just my personal opinion. I don't work for government, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree with me that there's better ways of going about things than to hurt people in a public setting, to generate rumors and slander, to bully up on a mother and her 3 children. Come on now. Bullying the mother and her 3 children around and continuing to look for ways to hurt them and kill them. Nobody thinks you're sane. Nobody thinks you're sane. Okay? Nobody thinks you're sane at all.